you know what this is? A weapon that my wife learned to use in Shaolin. Sophia, show them, show. Attack, Timothy Chalamet. Bam, again.
Stop. Stop it.
Whoa. Again. Woo. Okay, now, danke. Sophia, you can go. Yeah, danke.
She is a psycho.
But what if I do this? What do you see now?
This is what you do.
It's a whip. And what does a whip remind you of? Indiana Jones. You know what I think when I hear Indiana Jones? Boomer shit. Published by Bethesda, Todd Howard is involved, Wolfenstein people are making it, but I couldn't get around to finishing it. Because why? It's nobody's fault.
I hate you.
But last week I decided to finally finish it, and I have a feeling that a lot of you who are watching right now are missing out on this game because you think Indiana Jones, boring. Who cares? Because that was me. If I wasn't retarded, I would have never looked at this twice. I actually wonder if this IP hurt or helped this game's success. I have no idea. I wish there was research on that. I don't know anyone who's into that shit. Even when I looked at the promo material and the trailers, they leaned in so heavy on this being an Indiana Jones game.
Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years.
I feel like they were communicating to people like me. Hey,
I need to make order today.
if you're not an Indiana Jones fan,
Stay away.
well, thank God I didn't. Because now I played through it, and guys, there is so much to love about this game. It is the best game of 2024.
What?
No joke. And I say this just like this without doing research. Boom. I just say it. What? Boom. But it's held back by something utterly absurd, by its own name. The adherence to that IP and the vibe and the tone that dictates leads to an experience that's great for fans, but also massive missed opportunities and wasted potential. Boom. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let me explain. Let's go. Let me tell you, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle does some things that are masterful. Like,
It's coming there.
this game has one of the best senses of exploration ever seen in a game. Bro, ask yourself this question. How do we make a game where every system is wrapped around exploration? How do we do that? They did it. The locations have an intricacy that I think maybe I've never seen before. It is so much bigger than I anticipated. Not in my wildest dream did I expect this game to take this route. The Vatican level, which is the first big open world, if you haven't played this, you don't know. If you've played, you know and you agree. I know this. Sapienza in Hitman?
Goodbye.
Huge Hitman-Fan. Sapienza? Vernichtet. Sapienza is a fart. Not only is it an interesting location, Vatican, hello, but also the verticality, the secrets, how it keeps expanding. Unbelievable, man. You gotta, please. If you have any love in your heart for Deus Ex, Dishonored, or the Hitman games, must play. This will go down in the history books as one of the most excellently designed levels in gaming ever. I'm just saying. But an expansive location isn't everything, right? Look, so here, yeah? You improve your character by finding skill books. Incentivizes exploration. But these skill books have to be activated by spending these points. And how do you earn these points? By finding collectibles, taking pictures, solving puzzles. Incentivizes more exploration. Everything in this game is here to make you want to explore. And it's working. Because you get actively rewarded at every corner. That is this game's gameplay loop. It's not the action. It's not the stealth. It's not nothing. It's not even the story. It is wanting to explore the levels. Brilliant. Next up, and this is one thing that I didn't expect this game to deliver. There's a beautiful physicality to this world. What do I mean by that? Whether it's the UI, the skill books, opening doors, interacting with the world, it wants you to feel the world with your hands. Everything is physical. Everything exists. It's gorgeous. And I love that approach. You know how I cream my jeans in Resident Evil every time you use a key and you open a door? It's like... how it shows the animation. I wouldn't say it's quite on this level here because it takes it a bit further. It shows the hands as you turn the keys, how you turn stones, how you open doors. These are individual inputs that the game wants you to do as the player. Now, I admit the menus and the UI actually took me a long time to get used to. It's oddly confusing. There's something about it that I don't know. But just the fact that your map is on the screen, yeah, it's an actual map that you look down on. That alone shows you are part of this world. You're in it. And as you play the game, you will notice what I mean. And the last one on the huge positive list, it's very difficult to make close combat and first person feel good. It's hard to make it mainstream accessible and somewhat skill-based. And Indiana Jones pulled it off, man. You can dodge, you can parry, you can block, you have a whip, counters, dozens of weapons, throws, grabs. It comes together beautifully, man. This makes me hopeful for the future of Bethesda games. I know it's only published by Bethesda, but Todd Howard, you gotta take a lesson from this. And there's another thing. This is a very funny, subtle game design quirk that they implemented that is low-key genius. So you can shoot people, right? Indiana Jones has a revolver. You can pull it out. It reloads very slowly. You have limited ammo, but you can do it. You can also pick up weapons and shoot. But if you do so, it increases your odds of survival, right? Because everyone has melee weapons. No. There is an unspoken agreement between you and the enemies in this game. When you get caught and enemies attack you, they will usually attack you in close combat, even if they have weapons. But the moment you pull out a gun, they will also pull out their guns. And I think this is genius because the close combat is more refined, so the game wants you to engage in that system more. But if you want to improve your odds by shooting, the enemies are going to improve their odds too, even the playing field. It's amazing, and it works very nicely. Now, let's get to the problems, because there are a lot, which is maybe why the final rating will surprise you, but there are a lot of problems. And this is going to circle back to what I said at the start, how the IP is holding this game back. So, to all the Indiana Jones fans, this might be exact reasons why you love this game. But for me, it's a problem. I don't mind cheesy stories. I love Resident Evil 5. There's not a more by-the-book, cheesy-ass comic book villain story than Resident Evil 5.
You haven't changed.
I don't mind that. But Indiana Jones feels so dull. So 90s Sunday afternoon watching TV while doing homework, PG-13, 3 Fragezeichen Scheiße. God, the action cut. There's a certain vibe that action scenes have in the 80s and 90s in these types of movies, when it's like characters are fighting, like in comic books, and in German we say sie raufen sich, even though it should be much more serious. It feels not dangerous, and then the villain is about to kill them, and then a closet falls on his head, and it's like bazinga. Do you know what I mean? It feels so utterly unthreatening, so utterly non-urgent, so... yeah, I can't find a better way to put it than completely crap. It's a disaster. And I think that's why the story can never pick up steam. The story is a snooze fest. You know, I shit my pants so quickly. And there are a lot of dark moments in this game when it wants to be scary. But because I know it's Indiana Jones, it can't be creepy. It doesn't know how. Everything creepy has to be cliche, like a skeleton goes, oh, boom. Oh my God. How to explain? How to describe? Maybe you know what I mean. If you know, you know. It can't really commit to the story. I don't want to go into spoilers, and I won't, but the game could be so much more if it let go of the shackles of desperately wanting to feel like an Indiana Jones movie. And it probably does, right? I don't know, never seen one. So that is the game's biggest issue, how the IP dictates the tone, dictates what the game can deliver, how it has to tell the story. Big problem. But there are more problems. Remember, I made this video here about stealth and how stealth is fucked and a problem and people don't do it anymore. Watch. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is no exception here. Same problems, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I set the combat and the stealth difficulty to the highest. So don't give me this, oh, just set everything to high. The game is too easy. The age-old question, why sneak past the guards in 10 minutes if I can engage them in combat and do it in 2 minutes? And also then have a much more fun and intense experience, right? There's so many more mechanics at play when you fight enemies than when you sneak past. It's slow and it's not necessary. Stealth in this game, again, only exists as far as you want to immerse yourself, but you don't have to engage in it almost ever. Useless. After a couple of hours, when I'm in a room that's full of enemies, I go in and I kill everyone, because that's the quickest way to dispatch them, and then I can look around for puzzles. Why sneak? Why? Next up, the third person switch. Listen, I almost always prefer third person. When I saw this game for the first time, I thought, just give us third person. After playing it and understanding the physicality of the world and how you always hold things in your hand, I completely understand why it's in first person. I support it. That being said, every time it switches to third person when your character is climbing is so slow. You can upgrade it, but your character climbs at a glacial speed, bro. Like a snail. Why is he so slow? It's unbearable. It's frustrating and it takes me out. They should have just committed, honestly. And also the whip. The iconic whip. Yeah, I showed this to you. The whip. Indiana Jones' most iconic attribute. It is way underused. You use it to climb here and there, right? Of course. But I thought they're gonna make this a systemic weapon that you can have fun with. Aim at certain body parts, pull them towards enemies, do funny stuff. You can't. It's almost useless. You do it to disarm enemies, which is only really important when enemies are shooting. Other than that, you grab them to pull them towards you, then you knock them out. Maybe it was too complex to make this a systemic, physics-based tool, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line, they failed. And it's almost like an afterthought, which is kind of wild. Disappointing. But okay, before I get to the final rating, I have one more thing I need to get off my chest, because this is a positive and negative. This is a both, and this is very near and dear to me. So listen up. There's one level in this game that absolutely blew my mind. I'm not talking about the Vatican here, but there's one segment, I'm not gonna spoil how it happens or why, but you are in Shanghai while Japan is bombing it. I was speechless. Seeing moments like this in video games reminds me that there's basically an endless amount of settings and historical scenarios that we still haven't capitalized on, that video games can still deliver. It's pure madness. Now prepare for next level cringe. It moved me.
Oh my God.
I felt moved. Maybe it's because the movie Empire of the Sun with Christian Bale is a beloved movie of mine that plays in exactly that setting. I can't really think of another game that plays in that era of Chinese history. When it comes to China, all we get is Three Kingdoms, which honestly at this point I'm just so sick of. Seeing these houses and this architecture and this city being blown up, dude, that shit, it touched me, it moved me, bro. I was almost close to tears seeing it. I swear of God, ultimate lambda male moment. I felt a sense of representation. Surreal, honestly. So why is this positive and negative? Because this segment ends as quickly as it starts. There are 3 major open locations in this game. Shanghai isn't one of them. And if 3 locations doesn't sound big to you, trust me, this game is massive. I wanted to spend more time here. Imagine how amazing that would have been, bro. This game takes place in an era where fascism is on the rise. You fight Italians, you fight Germans. The Japanese would have rounded that up beautifully, right? Kojima, you, du alter Fascho, du. A fully explorable urban map of Shanghai while it's being bombarded. That would have been a dream come true, bro. Absolutely next level. But it's only like 15 minutes. I wanted to take a shit on my TV when it ended. Especially because the map that follows it is also the weakest and the least interesting. It's like, yeah. You wanna see this? You wanna see this? Oh, we give you a little bit. Just a little bit. How do women do it? So yes, these are my thoughts on Indiana Jones. Had to get this off my chest. And the final rating is a generous 9 out of 10. I thought it might be a strong 8, but dude, the exploration, it's excellent. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Maybe I could convince a couple of you who are on the fence about this game to maybe try it. Peace! Yo, 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 if I piqued your interest talking about stealth and why the genre has died, check out this video. It's all Ubisoft's fault. Kind of. Go watch.